covered in
Yeah, I'm gonna be covered. That's always the hope, is to be covered in good stuff. How you doing, Charlie?
Good morning. It's Monday, and one of the benefits to getting up earlier is that I'm getting up before the construction guys get started, at least. Although we'll see what happens, I guess. They've been kind of like more persnickety about how they go about bashing the walls, so, you know, it's a different experience, at least. It's the beginning of what could be, again, rumored to be the last week of our freedom. Theoretically, by the end of the week, we'll know if they're going to put us into a lockdown, and what I'd heard multiple times is that our mayor in Hidalgo is lobbying for like a 3-week lockdown, one last lockdown. They're hoping to get the numbers down here in Paris and then open us back up in the spring and see what happens from there. I don't necessarily know what to make of it, and I kind of stopped having opinions about like any impending lockdown about 7 or 8 rumors ago. I'm just not, I'm not a fan of the situation as a whole, and it's a global situation, and it's just the way things are. And in general, I feel, like, okay, like I have moments where I'm really frustrated with it, but then for the most part, I try to maintain some perspective about it and think, you know what, like, it's crazy because it's almost been a year. Oh, you know what? Today is the 4-year anniversary of my arrival in France. So that's kind of crazy. It was the like getting close to the end of our time out and about last time, because I remember having a little get together with some friends to celebrate my 3-year anniversary of arriving in France. And in the same kind of way, it's crazy how much time has passed and yet how fast it's gone. Because that seems like so long ago at the same time that I was celebrating 3 years, which is not the way I felt about it a couple weeks ago when I was renewing my visa or starting that process. I was like, how on earth has it been 4 years? So in that way, I kind of think in terms of like, there are a number of things where it felt like in recent history, we were never going to get through this. And then suddenly we were through it, and there's just this relief. And I've been trying to project that relief onto this situation and think, you know what? We're going to get through this, and life is going to be grand, I hope, on the other side of it. So, knuckle down for another day, knuckle down for another season, and, we'll get there. There's a lot of thoughts to be had on it, obviously. I'm sure you have plenty of thoughts. All of us have lots of thoughts on this. We're all living it, and everybody comes at it from a different angle and has a different perspective on it. And, for that, I guess let's not dwell on it. But this morning I was kind of thinking about it like, okay, like, we're going to get through it. Instead, let's talk about, 4 years in France. That's nuts. By the time you see this, it'll be 4 years and a day. The day counts. I don't know. But first I need to make eggs. I'm hungry. And then I have lots and lots of meetings today. But don't worry, we're gonna get out and about. We'll go downtown. It's gonna be a great 4-year anniversary. I hadn't even thought about celebrating it today until now. I'll figure that out. Okay, I think we've reached the end of the usefulness of this one-handed motion trope. Oh. And no shells. Yum.
Hola. That was not the most graceful dismount I've ever had. Hi.
Are you the one who put this place in video?
What are you talking about? Which visitor? Hey, Charlie. How you doing, buddy? Hello. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. I like it. Gustav likes it too. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I'm gonna be covered. That's always the hope, is to be covered in Gustav. Stay. Yeah.
Please explain that that's just gonna look and it actually.
I could stir this. That's what I did. I could do that. Good. I love the pearl couscous. Do they call it that? Do we call it that in English? What do we call this?
I don't know, mate.
Pearl pasta?
It's not pasta though.
It is a pasta.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's why it's not really couscous.
Balls. Little balls.
Pasta balls.
Yeah.
Lunch was delicious. Still not actually technically all the way back in here. I had to run. That's where Gustav came from earlier, was running down to get the keys that Kate left for me with Gustav. Sort of. That'd be terrible. He's not a good. Do not leave your stuff with Gustav. He will not watch it. We're back. We're here. We're working. We're getting started on some organizational stuff here today. And I wanted to say thank you to my patron producer of the day, Jan Williams. Thanks for being here and for putting this together and for feeding me, I guess. Sorry, you fed me. Thank you for feeding me. But thank you, Jen, and to all my patrons for watching this. Fast forward to the part where we go outside and enjoy a little bit of the city. Just gonna like point at something. My bike keeps wanting to take a dive, so you know, it makes more sense to lean it here. Sometimes you feel like I'm gonna ride this into a shot, and then other times it becomes pretty apparent pretty quickly that's a really, really bad idea. Busy day. We're gonna have to beat curfew here in a second, so gonna have to bounce on out of here in a minute. But I wanted to take just a moment to reflect on the fact that, yeah, 4-year anniversary. Not exactly the way I would have planned to celebrate it, especially after last year. Last year we went out, got beer and pizza. It was great. Just hung out with a few people, had a nice time. It was a little bit of a last minute thing, and obviously there were changes looming on the horizon, but this last year has just completely disappeared, and it comes as a shock that I have to redo or renew my visa right now. I mean, it shouldn't, because, you know, time is time, but just, yeah, 2020, completely lost year. And that stands out to me even more so in that context of like always having had to plan for that 4-year mark, knowing that I was going to need to renew my visa, knowing that I was going to need to put the work in and get it back for another round, hopefully. I really, really enjoyed the fact that I didn't have to go back to the prefecture every year for the last few years. It was a glorious thing. So now that I have to do it, you know, hey, you got to do what you got to do. The funny thing is that when I came, like I was thinking about expectations and maybe what changed between when I first got here and now. And the funny thing is that I didn't really have much in the way of expectations when I came, because I didn't know if I was going to be allowed to stay. I didn't even really, I mean, it all felt so surreal, and so it happened so fast that, you know, there was a part of me that didn't even think that it was really happening. And a part of me that, even though I was, you know, arriving and theoretically could work, I didn't know if I was allowed to work. I didn't know if I would make it, if I would manage to get my teeth sergere, anything. So that, in that sense, especially going through that first year where I had to keep going back to try and renew, like actually get my visa for an entire year, take that, you know, and then add on 3 years of general calm, at least from a visa standpoint. It felt like a gift. I just felt so lucky and so fortunate to be here. And now, obviously, I hope that I get to stay. Like, I hope I get to apply for citizenship early next year, probably. But that requires getting my visa renewed, and that requires jumping through who knows what hoops. And so, if nothing else, I'm just grateful for the last 4 years. The ups and the downs, the highs and lows. The restart, I really was hitting the reset button on my life. I'm really, really, really lucky that I had the chance to do that. The Notre Dame only, you know, burned down, what, like a year ago? I guess now 2 years ago? But there are so many things that have happened and changed, so many like dramatic things that have happened in quick succession around here, between the transit strikes and the Gilets jaunes, and like so many things have happened to the city even before the pandemic. You throw in the pandemic, and it's just another level of bananas in the midst of what's been a pretty bananas couple of years, or a handful of years, I guess. So all that to say, I'm really glad that I've been able to be here for it, even though it's been weird and random and hard. And it is just another strange time to be here. It's been really cool to be here when there have been so few people around. I'm like on the ramp that goes down to the water, like right by the, yeah, and there are people sitting out right now. The live location, oh, is it? No, the live location is correct. I'm just at the, hello. My camera's being a jerk. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just had a really long day.
There you go.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. The camera's being a jerk now. It was nice to see Kate for a second, but she's got to go do her shopping. Anyways, I don't exactly even know where I was at with that. I think that the cool thing, before my camera started freaking out and had to give the keys back to Kate there so she could get in, a lot has happened. A lot of things that we never saw coming. A lot of big, very transformational things, like just looking at Notre Dame right now without its spire. And they've made a lot of good progress on it, which is also really encouraging. You know, and who knows what's to come. I mean, that's the crazy, I hope good things. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling overall like very fortunate to be here. Reflectively, just like so grateful. And I'm looking forward to seeing the church restored, and I hope that I get to be here for that, you know, as a symbol of time passing on. As they say, everything is a clock, and that's one clock that I hope I get to see run back to full here soon, if that makes sense. So yeah, thanks for being here for it. I'm glad that you've been a part of it, and I can't wait to get back to diving into the city more, sharing it more as it opens up more. You know, we'll get to it as we get to it. It's a slow roll with the pandemic season, and we'll get into it. Anyway, I should probably jump on my bike here. Speaking of things, this was trying to fall down quite a lot here a minute ago, but I should probably jump on this guy and head back to beat curfew. So it's time for me to go home, but I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for yet more delightful times in Paris. Hopefully less of an office day and more of an out and about kind of day. And but we'll see as we go, and I'll see you tomorrow for that. Adios.